Hello everybody, my name is Katila and I'm from the Tampere University. My field of research is social psychology and especially interaction analytical perspective to it. I will be talking about my current research project, a video analytic perspective on studying kissing and hugging among romantic couples. In the presentation, I will be reflecting some methodological issues related to it. And just a quick note before I begin, all the figures in the slides are drawings from my data. Please do not use or copy the slides anywhere. Now, in the background of this presentation is the point that especially the affective life of intimate relationship is very hard to capture through research. One reason for that might be that especially people's homes is a crucial locus for the intimate life to occur, and as it is often treated as a private space, ethical questions naturally arise when it comes to recording at people's homes. Another reason why affective life might be hard to capture is that it is to a large extent embodied. And by embodied in this context, I mean that it is a form of sociality, especially being felt and sensed and experienced. And feeling and experience are clearly methodologically hard to capture, as they belong to this sort of personal and subjective sphere, not entirely accessible by outside observers. However, while being maybe hard to capture, intimate social relationships are still carnal to human sociality and honestly carnal to just being human. And as such, they are so important arenas of research to study. Well, how to then study forms of affection in intimate relationships? Now, there are obviously many ways to answer this question, but the path I've taken myself is to follow the video analytic perspective, drawing from the work of Marjorie and Chuck Goodwin, Jürgen Strick, and many more. The benefit of video analytic perspective is that by using it, it is possible to capture the naturally occurring moment-by-moment embodied interactions and how they really occur in comparison, for instance, with interviews of already happened events, mere audio recordings, mere observations, or more staged settings. However, what I've also learned myself throughout the process is that also just video recordings per se are not enough, especially when it comes to capturing the context-specific nature of the interactional events, and also importantly, the first-person experience of these moments only directly felt by the interactors themselves. Now, a solution I've came up in my project is combining video analysis with ethnographic observations as well as interviews with the research participants. Moreover, I'm also adapting an embodied perspective to video analysis, which means not only taking into account the study participants' embodied actions, but crucially requires involving the body of the researcher and the researcher's body's empathetic interpretation to the data analysis. Now let us go to the data and an empirical example. The dataset entails 10 Finnish couples who I worked with during the past 1.5 years. I actually just yesterday had the very final interview with my 10th couple, so just finished my data collection. I video recorded their everyday life for 1 week with 4 to 5 video cameras, 10 to 20 hours per camera per day. And for the sub-study on kissing and hugging I'm also presenting you today, I have a collection of at least 250 naturally occurring cases of kissing and hugging. And as I already sort of mentioned, after the video recording, I interviewed and had conversations with the couples by showing them video clips from their own interaction. This method or type of method has also been called stimulated recall method. So let's go to the data example. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show the video or the real pictures of the participants as this presentation is being uploaded to the shared platform, but I will go through the event moment by moment using drawings of the figures. I will go through the episode of a hug and kiss between a female couple who lives together and has been together for 4 years by the time of the recording. They have no kids, but they have one dog who is, by the way, an important part of their family. The episode takes place on a weekday after work, and the participants are cooking together. After the workday, they say quick highs with kisses, but they really haven't got the chance to actually engage with each other after coming home. However, just before the extract starts, they share this sort of a light banter and a cold laughter, which kind of paves the way for the effective kiss to occur. Now I will go through the analysis frame by frame and show you how the kiss happens, after which I will describe in depth some of its embodied and felt aspects. Here you can first see participant 1 approaching participant 2. They still have their eyes open, while when there's this moment of hug, you can see that they are leaning against each other, hugging, their eyes closed, and there is this very effective tone of the voice by which the participant 1 says, I missed you. Then there's this micro withdrawal from the hug into a facial formation, during which they sort of prepare their bodies and show readiness for the kiss. An actual kiss, during which there is a slight vocalization, and they merge into this kissing formation with eyes closed. Again, a micro withdrawal to facial formation, a very intense looking at each other for a moment. Another kiss, eyes closed again, after which they sort of withdraw from the kiss, and they do this by gazing at another direction, and this is sort of the end for this kissing sequence. Now, some of the most distinctive feature of the affective and felt aspect of the encounter is that during the hugs and kisses, the eyes of the participants close and the faces are wearing this sort of solemn expression, which can be immediately recognized as enjoying and cherishing the moment. The faces of the participants are thus momentarily harnessed into not only actually feeling the tactile moment, but also displaying feeling the moment. In other words, the felt and communicative aspect of the body unite, are entirely intertwined in this moment. The closed eyes are important here as they make visible an involvement to the inner experience or feeling. The fact that it is not necessarily visible to the other participant because they are indeed closing their eyes makes it even more so a sort of social contract based on trust that the other person is also closing their eyes during the moment. They are also enjoying the moment and making an emotional commitment to orient towards the shared bodily engagement. In an important way, the moment is about the relationship and simply spending a moment in sensing being together. During such intense and temporally prolonged tactile intercorporeality, the participants are not only closing their eyes, they are also obviously touching in this affective manner and in very many different ways, as well as including an oral medium into the moment in the form of this affective mm, that participant one is vocalizing. Now let's hear that a couple of times. I don't know how to say that correctly myself. Yes, you can totally hear that. Now, through detailed analysis of these multisensorial resources, it is possible to capture some of the both felt and communicative aspects of the moment. I argue that it's possible to make sense of at least some of the basic embodiedly felt meanings of these encounters simply by having a body who is part of the same culture. Even if every hug feels slightly different, as obviously every body is different, every relationship and situation is different, we all know what it feels like to touch and be touched in an affective manner. So besides of this detailed analysis, I think it's important to also hear what the participants themselves had to say about the moment. And here are some of the things they said after watching this particular clip that we also went through just now. Participant one would say, "These are the moments of feeling grounded, and afterwards I feel more calm." And participant two would say, "This is our usual way of refueling love. One needs those moments, even if it is just for a brief second, there is so much in those moments." So as we can see, both participants explained in different words that they had cherished the moment dearly. They were some crucial moments of feeling the other and oneself in relation to the other. These accounts support the video analysis, and when I was asking how it felt like to watch the clip, one of the participants, participant one, would actually say that it feels how it looks like, which I find very descriptive. Now, besides of the verbal accounts, I've also looked at the embodied reactions of the participants while they watch the clip. Interestingly, they often mirror the similar types of reactions and expressions that they have in the video recorded moment. The same actually happens with me, the interviewer. Uh, in the moments when I'm watching the clips with them, I'm also mirroring the similar types of expressions and emotion that they have in the clip, which I find that this is also some of the ways in which our bodies are primordial means for interpreting human behavior. And to me, it has a lot of analytical potential. Okay, just a few discussion points to the end. First of all, according to the perspective I've taken, and I guess this is descriptive of qualitative research more generally, is that the researcher is not treated as just some objective external observer, but someone who is actively involved in the meaning making by, in my case, talking with and interviewing the research participants, but also in using my own empathetic ability to make sense of the encounters. Here I especially refer to the power of embodied knowledge through the history of our lived bodies and also embodied imagination. And in this respect, the question I tend to ask myself is, how does it feel to watch the data? Not just what is being said or what is the information value, but how does it feel? However, the interpretation still always rely on the observable, even though there is this embodied knowledge and even imagination. And besides of the video analysis, there are the interviews of the research participants as well as data sessions with other scholars, which help to make sense of the moments and also help to validate the research and avoid the researchers sort of like reading too much into the moments. And I guess this final point is something I haven't really touched on directly in this presentation, but something I find extremely important and something I've been thinking about quite much lately is who is the study and science, I guess more generally, for who utilizes of the studies or even has access to the results and science. And besides of developing methods, I find it's absolutely crucial to develop ways to engage with and give back to the participants and the community being studied. And in my own research, this has basically happened through the fact that I'm also developing a method to help the participants in their interaction. So besides of there being the scientific part of the study, I'm also analyzing and exploring if watching their own interactions can help the participants realize something in their own interaction and maybe help them in some or potential communication challenges. Right, but here is all I have for you today, and I can't wait the discussion we have on June